You lose LaMarcus to San Antonio. You lose Wesley Matthews to Dallas.
Matthews, yeah.
Nick Batum gets traded to the Hornets team.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get Robin Lopez, who signs with New York.
Yeah.
And
you lose everything.
You really don't know how much they got. Plumlee in a trade.
Mm-hmm.
So that looks like he's going to be the center next year.
Yep.
You get Noah Vonleh, still young. He could develop into a nice power forward.
Mm-hmm.
You have some problems in the backcourt now. You don't really have as much. I mean, Gerald Henderson comes in. You think he might be the 2 guard, but one big loss I think people don't give as much credit for is the Aaron Aflalo one, because even he left to go to New York.
Yeah.
So that's a big role if their bench gone. So do you see Portland even close to making the playoffs? Because I don't think I do.
I don't either.
I think they're probably a 35-win team at the most.
You lose scoring and you lose chemistry, and those are 2 big factors just to win. And I think Damian Lillard being such a young, talented guy, it's going to be hard for him because he wants to win more than anyone. And, I mean, you're looking at a hard worker, a guy that gets cut from the FIBA World Team, the USA team, but still just works hard every day to get better. And unfortunately for this organization, it's just gonna be hard, and they're gonna struggle. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this team's gonna look at next year.
I'm sorry for Damian Lillard and everything that's going up for them, but I just don't see them being a contender for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
One thing going for them is their young front court. You know, you got Vonleh. He might turn out to be a star. Plumlee's coming into his own starter, but let's talk about New York for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Knicks and you got the Nets.
Yep.
Problems with the Knicks. They are missing a lot of talent to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they definitely are in the right direction with Lopez and Aflalo. Those are some good pieces. They bring in Derek Williams from the Kings. You know, they're still trying to make a few moves. But I really think that they're on the right track. Maybe a playoff team in maybe a couple years. They definitely won't finish last in the East this year. No. I think they might be, 13th, maybe 12th. But I don't think there's that much room for improvement with what they have so far.
And for Knicks fans, struggling. I mean, frustrated. I mean, and for Carmelo Anthony to get injured this past year and just watch his team just lose game after game after game. And for the fans, the knowledgeable fans, looking at the basketball stage of the world, and it's tough. And for the Knicks, I mean, you have to take into consideration that, I mean, you pick up Porzingis in the draft, and
a lot of speculation about Porzingis.
I mean, they want to win now, and I think this guy, as athletic as he is, and I mean, as talented as he could be, they want to win now. And for the Knicks, it's not looking so good.
I think that definitely is a big question mark on Melo's future in New York.
Yeah.
I don't think you talk about missing the playoffs 5 years in a row.
Yeah.
I don't think Carmelo Anthony wants to be a part of that.
No.
So
he needs a ring. He deserves a ring. You're looking at an elite scorer in this league for years. Just great all-around player.
One guy that has a huge salary right now is in the Nets is Joe Johnson at $25 million. A lot of trade speculation. Maybe a potential trade to Detroit for Brandon Jennings. Darren Williams' future in Brooklyn looked numbered last season. They signed extensions with Thaddeus Young and Brook Lopez.
Yeah.
That's their good front court players. But do you see them making the playoffs this year with the Pacers becoming healthy again, Detroit starting to be upcoming? Where do you see Brooklyn stacking up next year in the East?
Well, first of all, Joe Johnson, if you remember last year, he was almost, I mean, there were trade rumors about him and Lance Stevenson exchanging teams. But for the Nets, the Nets actually took the Pacers' spot in the playoffs this year, and I think it's going to be flipped around this year. I think the Pacers being healthy and adding a couple new pieces to their team.
Ellis.
Yep, Ellis.
Re-signing Stuckey.
Yeah.
Miles Turner in the draft.
Miles Turner.
I definitely see the Pacers stacking up in the top 3 or 4 easily.
I feel like the Nets in the playoffs this year. It looked like they didn't want it, and it looked like they were just struggling, and it wasn't really the playoffs. And I think with the bits and pieces that they have left, it's gonna be really tough for them.
Yeah, I definitely. I really hope Paul George can heal that leg completely. Hate to see a guy lose another season.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Durant, another guy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Thunder. The Thunder looks like they have a good championship roster. They just need to stay healthy.
Yeah. Oh.
They haven't been able to do that since really James Harden played for the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Long time ago. But
when someone goes down, or when someone comes back from an injury, another one goes down, and it's just hard because you got such a great team. With Westbrook, Durant, and
Ibaka.
Ibaka, yeah. That it's just
too much talent.
Mm-hmm, it's frustrating for them to lose all the time, and they really deserve to make it to the playoffs again.
I really hope that Durant wins one.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta hope that a guy like that puts all that work in, all the doubts he had early in his career.
Mm-hmm.
That's just really tough. So, we're talking DeMarre Carroll, another guy that got overpaid, about $15 million.
Yeah.
Too much for him? Not too much. Remember, the salary cap is increasing.
Yeah.
Let's get that right.
That's going to be new.
It'll go up $20, $30 million. So, a lot of the contracts are going to look smaller. So you got to really anticipate that. Do you think they got a good deal on DeMarre Carroll? Where do you think the Raptors will measure up next season?
The Raptors, they'll be all right next year. Adding DeMarre Carroll, but also losing Amir Johnson.
That's a big loss.
Yeah, and with DeMarre Carroll though, you have shooting, and that's what the Raptors needed. They needed some shooting, which will provide more scoring for them. But I do see them making the playoffs. They got swept by the Wizards this past year, which was frustrating for them. Dwayne Casey wants to win, and so does their young team that they have. But we'll see. They're definitely a playoff team.
I see them at the 7th or 8th spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't see them going very much higher than that.
Yeah, but the West sort of improving. It'll be somewhat easier for them because they kept most of their team. They managed to keep most of their team, so that's easier for them to manage. But we'll see. That's for sure.
A couple other moves. Amir Johnson did land in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to help them out. Brandon Bass heads to L.A.
Yep.
It looks like that's going to happen.
Looks like it's happening, yeah. It's sad.
Lakers and Celtics looking like they're making some moves. They're trying to improve their team. Celtics bring back Jerebko.
Yeah.
Celtics bring back Crowder. I mean, Isaiah Thomas is still there.
Yeah.
That still looks like a pretty good team.
Yeah, and it seems like the Celtics they're more prepared than the Lakers are, just because they have such a great coach, a young coach in Brad Stevens, and you have Isaiah Thomas, who his role as the sixth man last year was he accepted it. He knows that he's been a starting point guard in this league for years, but the fact that they managed to, I mean, the Cavs struggled against them in the playoffs this year. The Cavs really struggled. And with their talented team, their talented coach, and Danny Ainge doing everything that he can, it'll be interesting to see them. They really deserve to win. It's hard letting go of KG and Paul Pierce a couple years back, and Rondo for really leadership for their team. But I mean, their future's bright for sure.
Another team that made some moves, the Miami Heat. They kept D Wade, kept Dragic.
Yep.
Bosch is still there. Whiteside is still there. They got Justice Winslow in the draft.
Right.
Steele at 10. Where do you see this Miami team stacking up next year?
They're going to be a great team. First of all, for the East not looking good. I can see them clinching maybe the fifth spot, just because. I mean, Justice Winslow, what a great pickup for them. I mean, you're looking at a small forward that doesn't do too much with the basketball. I mean, that's what they needed. They lost LeBron, and I mean, you still got Hassan Whiteside, a young talent in this league. You got veteran leadership, like you still have D Wade, and you have Udonis Haslem, Chris Bosh, and hopefully Chris Bosh gets better. I know he had some.
He's reportedly healthy and doing workouts with the Heat, so it looks like he's going to be on the right track. One more major signing we need to address is Tyson Chandler heading to Phoenix.
Yes,
that was a big deal. Phoenix also sent Marcus Morris and a couple other young, talented players. Danny Granger was in the deal. I think they sent him to Detroit to clear up some cap space for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah,
who went up with San Antonio. How do you think Chandler will fit in with that young Suns team that's been knocking on the door of the playoffs the last couple of years now?
It's a great move for them, first of all. I think that Tyson Chandler, who's been to the finals, he's been across the world to play in the Olympics, the Olympic team that won the gold medal. A great center, great quality center. He's gonna leave a lot of impression on this young Suns team. You lose Dragic last year though, but you still have Bledsoe, and you still have one of the Morris twins,
Markieff, the good
Markieff.
I like to call him the good Morris, the starter Morris, but
the starter Morris. But you have that team, and you have Jeff Hornacek, who's a great coach. They're gonna look good. They still have some work to do, but they're gonna look good.
They will look good. Stuckey resigns. A lot of stuff happening in the NBA free agency period. Let's talk about the draft picks real quick. We only have a couple of minutes left, but talk about the draft picks. Go one by one. Tell them you like the fit or not. You like Karl Anthony Towns.
I do like Karl Anthony Towns.
In Minnesota. You like him there? Hopefully KG can mentor him.
Yeah.
Next pickup, D'Angelo Russell. You think he was deserving to the Lakers over Okafor? Do you think he's a better fit for the Lakers than Okafor was? How do you feel about that there?
Well, I did not see that pick coming. I didn't see D'Angelo Russell going second. But yeah.
Better fit than Okafor or no?
I do think it's a better fit just because they're short on guards and it would be a great fit for them.
All right. Okafor goes to the Philly. Let's briefly touch up on what Philly's doing because it confuses me. You got Embiid coming back.
Yeah.
He's still a little bit injured, but it looks like he'll return sometime next season. You got a little insurance with Okafor. You have Noel. I don't think both those guys can stay. I don't think Okafor and Embiid can stay.
No, I think Embiid's gone.
I think Embiid is on the outs as well. I think Okafor is too talented for them to let go. Then we got Porzingis. Great guy, great talent, just not right now. Yeah. I think the Knicks should have drafted someone for right now, and that's
he's not
what
ready.
They should have done.
I don't think he's NBA ready. We'll see how he does. But, I mean, for now, I think the Knicks are in a tough spot. Mario
Hezonja, obviously, he's a great shooter. What do you think about him in Orlando? Do you think he'll be a good fit?
He's going to be a great fit for them. I mean, you look at a guy that can he's just
very athletic, very talented shooter.
Very talented.
Willie Cauley-Stein, you think he's going to go with the Kings? What do you think they're doing there with DeMarcus Cousins?
I do think that it's going to be a little tough. I'm not sure what the coach will do for that, but DeMarcus and Cauley-Stein will. I mean, you'll have more big bodies in there that'll help win games.
And I think Justice Winslow is the steal of the draft, one of the best players in the draft overall. Definitely going to help the Miami Heat out. Quick, who's your favorites in the West next season?
I'd have to say the Spurs.
What about in the East?
The Spurs, probably
the East.
Probably the Cavs. Just
I think I have the Cavs as well in there. All right, that's all for our show today. tune in later this week. We'll have a full panel, and that was the Ballers.